The first time I stood at the altar, wearing a veil that didn't belong to me, my hands trembled, not from fear, but guilt. I was not the bride he had proposed to. I was merely the twin sister of the woman he believed he was marrying. And yet, when his fingers gently brushed mine to slide the ring onto my hand, his touch was tender, almost knowing, as if he could sense the difference even without sight. Liam Walker, the CEO of a global tech company, had lost his vision in a car accident 2 years ago. In the media, he was known as ruthless, brilliant, and emotionally guarded. But to my sister, Arya, he had been warm, loving, and deeply devoted. Their relationship had been a whirlwind, quick engagement, private meetings, and late-night phone calls. But no one knew what I knew. Arya wasn't in love. She never had been. I remember the night she came home, her face pale, hands trembling, the engagement ring heavy in her pocket. "I can't do it, Eliza," she said, voice barely audible. "He's kind and trusting and blind. I can't lie to him. I can't marry him when my heart is elsewhere." Arya had always been the stronger one, the bolder one. But love makes us vulnerable, and she had fallen for someone else, someone who wasn't rich, wasn't famous, but made her laugh in a way Liam never could. She begged me to understand. She begged me to help. So I did, because that's what sisters do. We switched places. It was easier than it should have been. Arya had kept her relationship with Liam mostly private. His blindness made the visual deception possible. But what I hadn't accounted for was the depth of the man I was marrying. Blind or not, Liam saw people. Not with his eyes, but with his soul. On our wedding night, he didn't touch me. He simply took my hand and asked, "Are you happy, love?" I swallowed the lump in my throat. "Yes," I whispered. "Good," he said, smiling softly. "Because I've been waiting all my life for someone like you." I wanted to scream that I wasn't her, that he deserved to know. But instead, I cried silently in the darkness, lying beside him as his breath evened and sleep claimed him. The days that followed were surreal. Liam was gentle, funny, and thoughtful. He asked me questions about our past, memories Arya had told me about. I parroted what I could. But slowly, he started noticing things. "You hum when you cook," he said one morning. I froze. "You never used to," he added. "But I like it." I smiled nervously. "People change." He nodded, though his brow furrowed. "They do." He began to dote on me in ways I wasn't prepared for. Morning tea served on a tray with my favorite honey. Long conversations about books and philosophy. Surprise audio messages he recorded just to hear my laughter. I found myself falling, not for the life I was living, but for him. And that terrified me. He had every right to hate me. But the more I tried to distance myself emotionally, the closer he pulled me in. "I know something's different," he confessed one night, tracing my jaw with his fingers. "But whatever it is, I love it. I love you." My heart splintered. Weeks turned into months. I told myself I was buying time for Arya, who had moved abroad with her new love, starting a quiet life far from headlines. She sent letters, guilt woven into every sentence. I never responded. I couldn't. Not while Liam was smiling at me like I was his world. I remember the day everything changed. He invited me into his private studio, his sanctuary, a room no one entered but him. Inside, walls were lined with tactile art, sculptures he'd made since losing his sight. He led me to the center, where a life-sized sculpture stood, veiled under a linen sheet. "I made this for you," he said. My breath caught as he pulled away the fabric. It was me, not Arya. The tilt of the chin, the curve of the lips, the subtle indentation on the collarbone that only someone who had memorized me would notice. "How?" I began, but my voice choked. "I knew," he said quietly, "almost from the start. You move differently. You breathe differently. But most of all, you feel more." I stared at him, shame burning through me. "Why didn't you say anything?" I asked, my voice barely audible. "Because you needed time," he replied. "And I needed to be sure that what I felt was real." Tears spilled down my cheeks. "I'm not Arya," I said finally, the truth crashing down like thunder. "I was never her. She left because she didn't love you. I married you so you wouldn't be hurt. And somewhere along the way, I fell in love." He reached for my face, cradling it gently. "I know," he whispered, "and I've loved you every day since." I sobbed into his chest, not knowing whether it was grief or relief. The weight of months collapsed in that moment, and in its place, something pure rose: truth, forgiveness, and the first taste of real love. He never asked for more explanations. He didn't need them. Love, he once told me, doesn't require eyes to see. It only needs courage to feel.